What's up, Kick Butowski? That's a great name, by the way. On YouTube, what's the subject? I don't know. Gonna kind of figure out. There's a couple things I could work on, and there's one in particular I want to get set up, which is overlaying streamed in data points to a map, to a globe. And anyway, so that's going to be like one of the things I'm going to look at, and the documentation I feel like is not that good, so I'm hoping chat can probably help. And there's a couple other projects that I can talk about too. So if you have questions or anything in particular that you want to talk about, feel free. Ryan, what's going on? I got to meet Ryan in person a couple days ago at that conference. And since we're talking about it, anybody is interested, the next version of that conference, that's the name of it, by the way, will be in, oh, I didn't, there we go. Will be in Wisconsin, which is going to be in the summer of Wisconsin. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are planning to take our podcast and do more in person podcasts. We did that in Texas and it went really well. If you haven't checked out the podcast, it's at compress.fm. You should check it out. Learn with Joseph. Hello. Risharaj. Hello. Skid Mark says, can you make AGI? What do you mean? I don't know what AGI is. Can you tell me more? Kubat, what are we going to code? There is a particular thing I want to try out to see if I can get it to work. And I feel like the documentation is not that great. So I'm hoping you all can potentially help me. But I want to work with something that will allow me to overlay like data points, geographical data points on a globe. And we tried one thing and it didn't work so well. So we're trying another one. So Kick Batowski, forgot to say hi. No worries. Straight into the questions. I like it. Right to the point. No point in wasting anybody's time. Risharaj just started with AWS. Any advice? Tell me more. It's funny, like giving advice. If I were to just give you advice based on that, I feel like I would be misleading you. But what's the context? Why are you starting working with AWS? Is this a skill set that you think you need to build? Is it something you want to do for a job? Are you going through a certification? Like, what are you doing on AWS? I think the one standard piece of advice that I could give that would probably apply regardless is like building is always better and or necessary than just like reading about something in a textbook. So if you read about AWS Lambdas in a book or a course that you're following, go and actually build some things with AWS Lambda and use that in your workflow of what you're building. So that's the only thing I think I could add without any more context. CD on Twitch, what's up, CD? Had a message from CD early yesterday, day before, about a couple of jobs. Anyone looking for jobs, like software development jobs? Got a few from him from a company that was doing React and TypeScript, and then also had a call out for Astro, which that was super cool for him and I both to see. I think we're both big fans of Astro. So yeah. Widespread says, I need a job. What kind of jobs are you looking for? Tell me more about that. Ryan said Astro. Yeah. So here's an idea. Here's something I'm going to be working on starting in March. So in March, I haven't like really told this to anybody else, but a few of us, specifically our podcast co-hosts, Compress.fm, have talked about doing a 2-week product challenge. And that's where we take 2 weeks to build something and then we ship it. And it could be anything. And what I've decided to do is something around helping developers in preparation for interviews. And you can like raise your hand or leave a comment or something if you've had struggles with interviews in the past. Commonly, people like lack confidence. They struggle to communicate technical challenges that they've worked on. They get flustered, all these things. So I'm going to be working on something to help address that. And I'm going to be following the 3 C's, which I just made up myself. And I had a couple of different iterations of this, but the 3 C's in terms of interviewing is connections, confidence, and communication. So yes, that's something I'm really excited about. Don't have a domain or anything, but we'll have a domain soon. And then I think the way I'm going to structure it is I'll have like a free worksheet template thing of how to like sketch out these ideas and give you some reminders of things to do and some reminders of things to like call out in your interviews, and then also have a full smaller course. So Ryan says, sounds like a great idea for something missing in the learning space. Cool. Love it. Yeah. Is and one of the C's to follow is also CD Villiard. Yes. Or Villard, even though it's not as popular as others. Absolutely. Let's see. Delta. Hey James, hope you're having a good day. It's been an awesome day so far. My wife and I went to work at a coffee shop and we were there for like 3 or 4 hours. And for some reason, I always feel um pretty productive when I do that. So that was a ton of fun. Let's see. Mogs Bakelli said, Help, I'm overwhelmed studying JavaScript. Some advice." Again, like for advice like that, I need more details. What are you overwhelmed about? What are you doing? What are you not doing? That sort of stuff. One thing I can say is be patient with yourself. Learning to program is very difficult. Everyone has a different timeline, so try not to like compare too directly to other people's timelines of how fast you're moving or not. And the biggest thing is always just to try to build stuff. So as you follow a course, as you read something, try to build something for it. Yeah. Ryan is transitioning into a career in web development. I actually didn't even know that. And have been focusing on front end, anything. Yeah. Okay, cool. Ryan, I don't think that I fully knew that. That's cool. How is the job search going? Ryan, do you feel prepared for interviews? Anything that you're struggling with? If anybody has any things that they would love to see out of help for interviewing, let me know because that's what I'm going to be working on in a couple weeks. Widespread says haven't searched for any yet. Got a couple offers on LinkedIn, but they want to chat off LinkedIn. I don't trust people when they ask me to give an email. Fair enough. Yeah, I've heard of a few like kind of scam things where people will say, "Oh, we saw your resume or we saw your LinkedIn and we really want to like talk to you about this job." And they're just scams. And I don't know what they try to get out of you. Maybe it's like we want you to send us $100 so we can send you like shipping a laptop or something. I don't know. So yeah, definitely like pay attention to those. Be careful, etc. Kik Batowski. I love the name. Is your last name Batowski? Is that and then you just went with Kik to go all in on that? I like it. Kik says, where'd you go? How to charge a client as a freelancer. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can charge by value, which is like, hey, I'm going to build a thing for you and I'm going to charge like what it's worth to you is $5,000, $10,000, $1,000, whatever that is. So there's like pay by value, and that could take as much time as it takes to actually build it. You can also do pay by hour, and hour is like, I'm going to work on this project. I think it's going to take 30 hours, and then it takes 20 hours or it takes 40 or 50 hours, whatever, at a certain rate. And what I do more for consulting now is value based pricing instead of hours. So I say, like, I'm going to provide this, this, and this based on what you're looking for. And based on the amount of time that I'm going to spend, the amount of effort it takes for me, and what like we perceive as the value for you, it's going to cost this much. And that's something that I think like is constantly evolving. It's super hard. There's no like hard and fast rules. So I think you kind of got to figure it out too. Like charge a couple of clients and then see how you feel. Do you feel like you were well compensated? Do you feel like you could have gotten more? If you feel like you could have gotten more, ask for more next time. And what I do is I've continued to do is just continue to charge more until enough people say no. Is typical advice. Ryan, yeah, we definitely didn't definitely get to chat enough. Yeah, it's funny. Like at that conference, every day I was like, okay, there's this person I need to sit down and talk to, like just to get to know them more. There's this person. And every day I was like, I can't keep up with all the people that I would like to sit down and talk to. Ryan said, I definitely don't feel prepared, but I don't think I ever would. So I started applying regardless 2 or 3 months ago. Love that. Yeah, Ryan, if there's any specific things that you love to get like advice or feedback or things like that on, let me know. I could potentially help like directly, but then also for the course that I'm going to be working on. Marek, hello. Someone said, I forget to mention this earlier. I think someone said, teach me how to code, please. Artem, there's lots of resources. I have resources. My biggest recommendation is find a course that can kind of help onboard you. If you're truly starting from scratch, then Free Code Camp is the place that I would go. Yarrow, what advice do you have for putting my JS stuff in my GitHub? Do employers check the GitHub at all, in your opinion? Do they check GitHub? Yeah, I think Probably what's more likely is they go to a deployed application that you have and they look at what's there versus diving really deep into the code. I don't think they're going to spend a ton of time going through your code in depth. I think what's more realistic is you having projects that are actually deployed and working so that people can go and check those out there. I think that's the really important reporting piece. Widespread. Any advice on getting funding? I've never gotten funding, so I don't know that I can help you there. I mean, funding is all around providing value, right? So think about who your audience is. Think about what the return is potentially for investors. Do you have numbers on where you are now versus what potential growth looks like? But again, I've never gone through like funding myself. So, Kubat, I don't have time to check one right this. Well, I'm just sitting here talking, but maybe you can email me james.q.quick@gmail.com and I can try to take a look. I will. Yeah. Ryan, every day too much. Yep. Appreciate the offer. Yeah, dude. Send some feedback my way. Love it. Sony on Twitch says move the queue to the left or the right. Amy can't steal it if she cannot see it. It's hidden back there. One of the things I am going to do is get someone to build me a wooden sign with LED with my actual logo, not just like that Q thing, but my actual logo behind me. And I'm going through and I'm like redoing all my office and stuff. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on over here. Yeah. Do you want to see some code really quickly of something that I'm looking at? I asked that, and then I just share it, and that is what it is. So, um, let's see. So I am working with Century, and let's switch this to our streaming. Working with Century, this is really big on kind of rebuilding a website for them. And I haven't touched this in a little while. And all of this code that's right here probably doesn't work yet. So we'll come back to that. There's a lot of I don't know if that's going to do anything to be honest. But the one thing I do want to show you is we're listening to a live stream feed from Century about all the errors that are happening all across the world. So it sends you like geo data, latitude and longitude, and it sends you the language. And then we have some stuff in here that kind of aggregates all those numbers. And I think this is logging them. So hopefully this will be enough to just like show you the logs. So this is an Astro site. Astro super cool and just has a little bit of JavaScript. So this is going to be at local hosts. Sony Eagle, finally a shenanigan stream. That's right. I have some exciting other stuff that I'm working on too, by the way, that I think I'm going to make some really good progress on. I'm excited about. Okay, I need to go here. So an interesting thing is you can bypass cores by like going to this application and requesting temporary access. Interesting. And then I think I should be able to get this feed. You can see this coming in. This is all like Century data from Century, the company. If you haven't checked them out, check them out at Century.io. I'll put a link to the chat. So this is all their errors. It's just like streaming out these updates of what the language is and what the geolocation is, which is really, really cool. So the idea is to take that stream of incoming data and just throw them onto a 3D globe and have them like pop up like ding 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 like it'll be super cool. And I think they can use that at conferences for like their monitor in the back and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fun. Can we make this bigger? So this can be a little bit bigger. I don't know why there we go. So there's that. This is not super important. It has latitude, longitude, a timestamp, and then a language. So there's JavaScript, PHP, Node, Python, Ruby, C Sharp, Cocoa, which I think is like that's like a iOS thing. Yeah. So anyway, this stuff is really cool. Yeah, I think native. There's a bunch of stuff on there. So just seeing those updates like streaming in is really neat. So, also, you want to see this other thing that was like ridiculous to me that I didn't know where it came from, and someone corrected me. Let me see if I can find it. Where is the? Oh, it's not. It's not doing it. Oh, it's because they don't have the stream URL. So really quickly, Hunter, got to run for a bit for an appointment. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. Hunter, appreciate it. Yeah, come back and join us if you make it in time. I'll be here until about 2:30 central, and then I have to go check on the baby. Widespread. What stream URL are you talking about? And I just realized what is missing is Turbo Console, not What was the thing? Esther, what's up? Oh, Ninja Console. That's what it was. Esther, how's it going? Console Ninja. This is from Wallaby. I wonder, like, will this? It did it earlier, and I like it just came out of nowhere, and I didn't know that it was from that plugin. Yeah, look at this. Look, the logs are being streamed into VS Code. What? What? These are all those same logs that I was just showing in the browser are being streamed into VS Code. I've never seen this before. So this comes from, give them a shout out. This data in the console were for live streams. No. Sorry. So, yeah, it might crash. Uh, yeah, it's probably not the best data for me to be logging. It may end up crashing. But data in the console, not for live streams, like me streaming right now. It is a live stream of data. So the data is errors inside of Sentry. So not a live stream in terms of me live streaming, but is a stream of data that I'm consuming. Mark, what's up, Mark? Got to like we had a couple messages in Discord. Good to talk to you for the first time in a while. Lurking for 15 to 20 minutes, then jump on a call. Love it. Esther also has a YouTube channel. Esther, if you want to, throw a link in the chat for everybody to check out your content also. Yara, what VS Code plugins would you definitely recommend to install? I actually did a video on this that can I like, let's see, VS Code extensions for JavaScript. Let's see if mine will pop up. There's lots of videos on this topic, so maybe not. Hey, there it is. Essential JavaScript extensions in 2024. So this is a few of my favorites that you can check out if you want to. Esther said that's a nice plugin. Have you used that plugin before, or are you just commenting that that feature is nice? Paolo Olalaken, what's up? Welcome everyone. Yeah, check out Esther on YouTube as well for some awesome content. Can you show us how to use Breakpoint and Postman in VS Code? So breakpoints take like a little bit of debugging configuration, which I don't have set up now. But I do have the Postman extension, and this is just like the Postman desktop client if you used it before. So you come in and tell it like where you want to send the request to, and it'll show you the data at the bottom. So the Postman extension of VS Code, definitely really good. Recommend checking it out. First time seeing the plugin, like it. Awesome. Let's see. So what I want to do is use this thing, which does not have good documentation. So a couple of things that stand out. If you look inside of here, they have like import the main object from the package, which is 3globe. And then it references this capital 3 thing that it like never shows you. And I think I figured out, and somebody could help me figure this out together. I think that that is coming from the 3JS package, which you also separately have to install, I think. So do they? I don't think they say the 3. Yeah, I don't think they see also the standalone version. I don't know what the standalone version is. Oh, GlobeGL is the thing that I just used, I think. Yeah, that's the one I just used. Anyway, but that one we had issues with because it wasn't able to handle like all the dots being put in. I don't know. So, yeah, they referenced this 3 thing, which I think Esther is saying seems so that I think you have to install 3JS separately and then import that and reference it as well. And they don't really give me a good idea of what all of this code does. Yeah, you probably need 3 package. Yeah. So what I did was copy some of their example stuff, and we can start at the top and kind of do this together. So they created a new globe. So they have they import the 3 globe from their package. They have this number 300. They generate some random data. They create a globe. And I wonder, wonder if that will actually work. Let me actually check this URL. So I stole this from their example. but it probably needs to be something other than slash slash. So it probably be that. And then I don't know what this one is. This is typography. Typography, not typography. Topology. Different things. Cool. Then okay, so they create the new globe. They set the background image, which is basically an image of a globe. They set the bump image, which I guess bumps are like for topology. Don't know, maybe. They set the points data. They set the point altitude. And I'm assuming so what is so point altitude, and it takes an object assessor and then a point color, which I'm assuming this is not supposed to be the string of color. I assume this is actually supposed to be what is an obj assessor? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna get rid of those two for a second. Let's see. So Justin asked, quick question regarding a project. Have you ever used Elasticsearch? If yes, could you please provide info on it? So I have used Zeta, which I'm a big fan of, which has basically Elasticsearch built in. So when you create data in Zeta, they replicate that to an Elasticsearch database, and then they give you access to search, which is pretty neat. So, so yeah, that's what I've used it with, and I have some search built into a couple of projects that I've worked with recently. Can you make a video on how to use Hugging Face models, Node.js? Remind me what Hugging Face is. Is this like to build your own? Yeah, there's lots of potential for AI stuff. And I haven't done a ton, although we'll be working some on some of that stuff recently. So maybe I don't have anything committed to, but Bra, bonjour de Paris. Bienvenue. Welcome. I said welcome from Paris. I guess it would be welcome from Los États-Unis or Les États-Unis. I'm confused now between Spanish and French. Anyway, welcome for you being in Paris. And if you have anything you want to share in French and the challenge for me to try to read, I'll put that in the chat. Let's see. So why did all the documentation just disappear on this? Have you ever seen this? That happens to me in NPM sometimes. Because that was the same page, I think. Anyway. So I copied all of their code here. And then they create what's called a scene. Has anyone worked with 3JS before? Do you know what the scene is? I've never worked with a scene. And then you add the globe to the scene. So you create the globe. This code has got to be broken, right? Because there's no, oh no, there is a, wait. So that's just got to be dummy code. Like this is nothing, right? Because we actually want to use this one. So get rid of that and call this my, what silly code? I remember more settings about the scene. You need some light points. Okay. I don't know. So we create the scene in 3JS, then we add the globe, then we have a renderer. Then we set the window inner width and window inner height. And then we set this to the globe DOM element. Light equal. So Esther, have you worked with this before? So cost light new 3.point light. So this is using 3JS to create a light source. Interesting. A long time ago. Okay. Do I have to have the light source for this to work? Can I not do it without it? Okay. And then we can also just reference. I think I've already queried the globe. This is gross code, by the way. Globe element. And a mesh. What? I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, fair enough. Spidey says, I just followed Bruno Simon's course. I don't know Bruno Simon, but I got intimidated by lots of stuff, so I had to pause it for a while. What's the course that you're taking? And do you have a link to Bruno Simon? I'm not familiar with that person, but I'd love to see their content if you have something you can share. Okay. I don't know, like, I don't really know what to expect. Is this supposed to do something? So I'm still getting the data. It has a Three.js canvas. So there is things going on. The course Spidey is Three.js Journey. Yeah, Three.js definitely feels intimidating to me. Yeah, so I'm not sure. That's weird. Oh, cool. Okay. Are you intending to be able to rotate the globe? In theory, potentially, but the bare minimum that I want to be able to do is just be able to see the points on, and maybe someone has a different answer to this. Like, really what I want to do is just see a globe or a world map and see the points, like, as they're streamed in, apply to that map or that globe. So in this case, like, I am not seeing anything happen, and I have no idea why. So it looks like it's adding, looks like it added multiple of these, which is probably not what we want. Boot Dev podcast, really loved what you were talking about. Oh, cool. Costa on Twitch. That's awesome. Lane is awesome. Boot Dev is awesome. And had a great time listening, or not listening to myself. Joining him for an episode of their podcast. Costa, if you have a link to that podcast handy, or maybe I can grab it. Boot Dev podcast. See if I can find it really quickly. Video. I don't know if it was on. Probably not. Nicholas, first time one of your lives. Great. Thanks for the videos. Absolutely. You're very welcome. Glad to find you here. Or glad you found here. Glad you found the stream. I haven't streamed in a while, but I want to get back into it and do it more. Yeah, I don't know where podcast. Will this have all the episodes? Let's see, James. Oh, more episodes. Probably further back. I don't remember how far. James. Cool. Sweet. Cool. Costa sent a link in here, and then there's a link in here as well to that episode. Oh, and it has the YouTube link too. Cool. Mac, what's up? What's going on, Mac? Um, so do you think building e-commerce website is hard? There's lots of ways to do that. I have a video on building an e-commerce website with Wix, which is what I built my learnbuildteach.com store with. So that was super easy. I enjoyed that. If anybody's interested in some Learn, Build, Teach swag, there that is. So I had a good time with that. I didn't think it was that bad. I used, let's see, not Shopify, Printful for the actual mockups, or like creating the actual swag itself, and then Wix as the e-commerce store. And there's lots of tools to do that with without using one of those, like writing it in code. So that's a challenge. That's something that I would like to do in the future too. Let's see, what was something like this? Querying equals browser. What widespread? What is that? Something like the browser.tabs.query? I don't know what that is. Okay, so I think this is creating the append child every, like, multiple times. And I'm wondering if what's the, oh gosh. Append child JavaScript. That was for an old question. Gotcha. What's another option instead of, is there a replace child? Append child, create text node, or dot child. Can you just put what's what's a function to, like, not append but just like replace? First child. Somebody help me. Insert HTML? Not exactly. I mean, maybe it could be. I don't know. Or I could just set enter HTML, but replace? Is that really it? Or did you just make that up? Widespread, were you kidding? Replace child? Replace children? Replace with? Replace all children of node with nodes while replacing strings. Maybe that works. I don't know. But regardless, so I'm still having like multiple canvases in there. I wish I was actually seeing something. So here's you can see those errors are coming in, which is pretty neat. Document.body.append child. So there's also an error in here. Apparently it wasn't something that was very big deal. So globe. So I have one canvas in here, which is what I want. It's got a width and a height. Display. So I think at least setting the set size that I have, Esther, is working. I just don't know how to know if the other stuff is. So my div with an ID of globe has a canvas inside of it, which is 3JS engine. And that feels pretty close. And I think the replace children is working. The set size is working. And that's basically WebGL renderer. Yep. So this is basically the code I think that you passed in from ChatGPT, Esther. Or set size. How did I learn 3JS? I have not. That's the problem. That's the challenge. A quick link on Postgres, but I'm working in Angular. My objective is fetch and filter 100K to 1000K data without any lag. So you have any solution other than Elasticsearch? You doing search on data that big is going to require some sort of optimal database. So there's other databases that are made for that kind of thing, but it sounds like the kind of thing that you would be you need something optimal for it. The other thing is to what am I saying? Index. So depending on index based on a column that you're searching. So if you're searching through like big text, I think that's going to be really hard. But if you're searching by a property in a table that can be indexed, then that would drastically increase your query time. Esther said it recommended the append child. Yep, and append child would work here. Or append child is actually what I had, but append child was being run multiple times in the Svelte render cycle. So instead of letting it do multiple times and build up multiple in there and stack them on top of each other, I was just doing replace children. So what did Amaranth? So I'm a merge stack and I don't know what to build. I only know how to build websites like Amazon, etc. I'm not sure what is there like a specific question you have, Amaranth, with that? Diamond Man, welcome. Christian, welcome. Haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, it's Svelte. Okay. So this is, and it's a weird mix because like really you shouldn't be referencing DOM elements in Svelte. That kind of goes against the idea of the framework. But I'm just trying to hack and see if I can get this to work. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything. So I wonder if I kind of want to simplify this. Like, what are the two things that I need? I need some data. I need the image URL, I imagine. And then I have the scene. I add the globe to the scene. I create a renderer. And then where does the scene, so my scene, add the globe. Where does the scene get used? Unfortunately, for too long, A lot of work at the moment. Christian, you started a new job, right? Cresvin, what's up? Welcome. So let's see. If I comment this out, it says I'm not using my scene. So I feel like the scene should be referenced somewhere. WebGL renderer. I feel like I'm just making up stuff. Christian, that's so awesome. How is the new job going? Okay. Oh, this sucks. I feel like this documentation is so missing. So my scene, add globe, but they don't show you like what to do with the globe, or they don't show you what to do with the scene. Isn't that kind of ridiculous? Do you have project ideas to build to get a job? I'm in Mern Stack. I anything. So build people will say to do apps are terrible. To do apps are actually perfect. It just you have to make it you have to go deeper into a to do app. Like if you think about a to do app and thinking about sharing to do items or like notes app with other people and authentication and that sort of stuff, it gets really, really complicated and you can actually show a lot of value in the things that you create. So what I would do is come up with something for yourself that you're excited about. Do you like movies? Do you like music? Do you like sports? Do you read a lot and you want to keep track of the books that you read? Like something like that that's semi-personal to you and build something like that. I've been working out. Can I build something that'll track my workouts over time and show me a graph of like how often I've worked out, that sort of stuff. I like to read a lot. Can I use an API of books to be able to like select the books that I've read and save them and bookmark them and like them and that sort of stuff? You have to find something that's semi-personal for you and unique, and then go and try to build that thing. So like you could have, I think it's easy to kind of ask for like, do you have a list of 5 apps that I could build? But then you're at the whim of like everyone else is potentially building those same 5 apps too. So go and build something that's a little more personal to you because it's something you'll be more interested in and probably easier to commit to and work through. So that's my take. Is it enough to get a job? I mean, there's lots of things that go into getting a job. Having a strong portfolio project or two, probably two, that you can talk about in interviews, absolutely crucial. And then there's lots of other things that go into it too. Christian, absolutely incredible, great company, great people, great work. I love that. Can I do a? Gosh, I don't use this enough. I need to get back into like actually streaming to the point of having these things figured out. But Christian, I'm super excited for you. Okay, does anyone know what my missing thing is? Because this kind of sucks. Because if I just create the scene, it's not doing anything. I create the renderer, and then I set the renderer to, but I'm not Amaranth. Absolutely. Yeah, you're very welcome. Can I pass in the scene to this? Is that where that's supposed to go? I have no idea. Does that seem crazy? I don't know what would seem crazy about it. I mean, it just won't work. Not working. I also wonder, I may do, oops, not that. May just set this to like width of 800, height of 500 or something to try to make that a little bit smaller. So it should be like right in here is where that thing is. Sid, I am trying to see all this data that's like streaming in. These are errors from Century.io, and I want to put them on a map or a globe, and I'm just having a hard time doing that. Does anyone know a good like? Is there a good simple 2D map platform that you've used? That would like I could do that too, and not have to worry about 3D stuff because I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do next there. They have source code for like the basic here. Although it takes me to this page that like goes blank, which is weird, but I can get to it from here. They don't have this is all the same stuff that I just looked at. I have done an SVG map with events. Esther, what did you use for that? What is yeah, what's your experience with an SVG map? That'd be interesting. and data for each country. Yeah, whatever details you have on that would be awesome. Is this JavaScript? In theory, it will be when I actually get to writing some code. So yes, I am working in JavaScript. Ronnie, do you usually start with design first or functionality first as far as APIs? Let's see. If you're asking about an application as a whole, I think they're just two separate things, right? Like you're going to need design on the front end, you're going to need functionality on the back end. I am not so much of a designer, so I personally would work on like functionality and then go back and add design to that. But I often need help from other people to for the design part. So I actually pay. I have a designer that I work with for a lot of the things that I build, and then I get to focus on just implementing that. Let's see. Maybe a bad idea, but I would dump the renderer dot doc element to see how it works. Renderer renderer dot. Oh, when you say doc element, I bet it's DOM element is what you meant. And then I may take out. Yeah, I'm not logging that data. Jonathan just joined out of nowhere with some language. Welcome, Jonathan. Let's see. So, I mean, it is a canvas object. So, I mean, the thing is there, it just didn't have like it's not populating the canvas, and I don't know why. Esther said so. In Angular got the SVG map, then I added event listeners and connected to the API to get the data. What is SVG map? Is this like a is this just a static like SVG image, or is this like an interactive map thing that you can add points to? Justin, if you're building an Angular app, can't answer that. Not worked with Angular in several years. How would you create single config file for API call to increase performance or tuning and thus decrease time to implement? And yeah, so I'm not an Angular dev. I think also something to keep in mind when we ask questions like how do we make this more performant? Like the details of that become really important. So it's almost impossible for someone to answer in my position without having a lot of context, like what you could do to optimize what you're building. So that's a really hard and impossible question to answer, unfortunately, at this point. In addition to the fact that I haven't used Angular in a long time. So building a weather app in Expo and I have a design file and I can't wrap my head around where to place everything. Yeah, just start. Like you can see the code I'm writing in here is not organized at all. I'm just trying to get something to work is where I'm starting. So yeah, just start simple. Okay, what would be the best way? So can I do like npm 2D map? Does anyone have a map? So Esther is like what was the SVG map itself? Like is there a package that you use? Display map JavaScript. So there's Arc GIS. I've heard of GIS before. Create a display map. That's intense. I don't need that quite. Create a new pen. And they're talking about actual code pen. Okay. Have it just on how to send. Do you have can you send it on Discord maybe, Esther? Are you on Discord? Saeed, I started learning JavaScript 3 weeks ago and I feel overwhelmed and lost. Is it normal? Yes, it's absolutely normal. You're only 3 weeks in. It's still a lot. That is the most common thing that you could possibly imagine. So yes, it's very understandable for it to be overwhelming. Hopefully there's moments of things that like get you excited to keep you going, but it's going to be hard and that's okay because learning to program is a very rewarding skill set, I believe, and I think it will be worth it in the end. So as much as you can kind of mentally just give yourself some grace and be patient with yourself, I think that would help a lot. And just know that it's not just you. That's like this is everyone. So AWS or somewhere. Okay. So Esther, so when you said interactive map, you're able like did you just write all the logic to be able to add those points on top of it, like using Canvas or something? Widespread. Do you want a sphere of the entire Earth or just a 2D square tile of a certain size? It doesn't have to be a globe. It doesn't have to be a sphere, I don't think. I just want some sort of map of the entire world, whether it's 2D or a 3D globe, to be able to add points on to it really fast. So as that data is coming in, it needs to take a lot of points, a lot of points being overlaid on top. So here I'm gonna do this. Let's ask Twitter. What's the easiest way to add a 2D map in JavaScript that I can overlay points on? Added some event lists. Just have to look at my code again. Okay, so you wrote that from scratch. That's cool. And we could do that potentially. You'd have to do some sort of relationship between latitude, longitude, and like dimensions of the like X and Y like translate those to X and Y coordinates on the SVG that you have. What is an Ajax call? What is async? Heard it used many times. Ajax is making a request to another server somewhere. So yeah, if you want to make a request to another server, you can make an Ajax call. You'll also hear it referenced as a fetch call, which is fetch is built into JavaScript. And async is the ability to run code in JavaScript that isn't blocking everything else from running. So it's able to run it kind of behind the scenes asynchronously while other code is still running. Maybe ChatGPT could potentially give a good answer. I'm wondering. So does this have what is ArcGIS? ArcGIS npm. So there's ArcGIS core, minified unbuilt version for ES modules, maps, complete web app. I feel like I'm just running around in circles trying to figure this out, but it is what it is. But why not have a reference to an example somewhere? Functionality samples, base map with different projections. Running around in circles sure feels relatable. Yeah, that feels about right. Clay on Twitch, what I'm working on, I'm trying to find a map of some sort that I can overlay data on top of. Arcar, what's up? D3 Globe. So that's the one we tried originally, and it seemed like there was performance issues with it. And now that I think about it, there's like maybe it was having issues because we weren't like optimizing the way we put stuff on there. I don't really know. Actually, let's just go back. So I'm going to scrap all the stuff that I've got here and I'll show you what we had. So let's run this and let's see if I can get back to what we had. Oh, I need to install packages again. Mapbox. Okay, I'm gonna run this Pascal and then I'll take a look at Mapbox and check that out too. So let's do 1% BRB. Widespread, is your computer gonna die? Or phone? How many people are watching from their phone? Is that super common with live streams? I'd imagine it's as common as like anything else. Let's see what we have. Doop doop doop. Hopefully it pops up here. I think it'll pop up. Or maybe it won't. Yeah, I usually do, but I got it on my computer at work because yellow. love to see it, Clay. Love to. Are a lot of people like also work? I mean, it's during the work hours in the phone widespread. I'll cut it out. What do you mean? Stay on for 20 minutes? I will be on for 20 minutes. Yep. Okay, now I feel like I've broken everything because this was supposed to be the thing that actually worked. And it is not. Oh yeah, I'm only on because I'm working from home today and watching on a personal laptop. Nice. Our car, you want to train to the city? Are you on your way to your interview or on your way back from your interview? Watching from school. Sid, I love it. Love it. Okay, can you so this is very small, but if you like, especially if you're on your phone, pull it way up. So this is actually it's doing the little pings in there. Can you see those? Let me it's probably more likely. So it actually is showing the little pings, but I'm not so Salma said that it made her thing crash. I would also like those to be a little thank you. Yeah, that's cool, right? So this is using the someone mentioned it, the Globe 3 Globe, 3 something. Globe GL. Oh, our car is so exciting. So everyone in chat, can we get really quickly a like virtual word of encouragement or applause? Our car is sorry if I'm sharing your like personal details, but our car is on his way to New York City for an in-person interview for his first job in programming. So can we get like a virtual clap, just a message of support in the chat for encouragement for our car? I know there's more people listening. Come on. There it is. Ryan's in, Clay's in. Clay, I'm also streaming on YouTube. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of talking to multiple people. So I'm on YouTube and on Twitch. Okay, so I wonder. So Salma said that this was crashing. It seems to be doing okay. Thank you for the claps. Oh, more claps. Hold on. I can do it. I can do it. Clap. Okay, I want to send some love too. Yeah, yeah. Clay, you can join on YouTube too if you just go and search my channel, James Q Quick. Godwin says, "Good luck, congrats in advance." Super excited, our car. Everyone here is rooting for you. So send me if you remember and you have the energy. Let me know how it goes after you get done. Sid, do I stream regularly? I have not been streaming regularly, but my goal is to stream regularly. So um, let's count that as a yes, and I will hope to see you in many more of these streams. Esther, so I basically reverted back to what we had. So this is the original code that we have where we're using globe GL, and then we get a DOM element, we create a new globe, and then for the globe, we set to this image that we found. I don't know what points merge is. I don't know what that point resolution show. I mean, there's a lot of things on here. Then we have the points data, which is coming from globe data. Okay, so this is an array of data points, which has latitude, longitude, size, and color. Okay, and let's see. So then what we're doing, and there's potential that there's like ways to do this differently. So for each message that we get, now again, we're getting these messages like streaming in. So if we scroll down over here, these messages are streaming in. This globe is pretty cool though. I gotta admit, it looks great. So we're seeing those little pings. That's cool. That's doing what it's supposed to. And then we convert each message to a data point. And so here's what she said. Isn't really compatible with fast changing real time data. Appending all events into a global array for all data points is not performant and crashes the globe. We can do this and it gives the effect of twinkly lights, but the documentation is garbage and it seems very intuitive to configure each data point. It's kind of cute, but we need a new globe. And that's what I'm like. I feel like the documentation for just all sorts of stuff is kind of a mess. Um, so what she had here is we set oh, so right. Oh, I get it. I know what's going on now. Is let's see. Let's keep track of do we have data points up here? Globe. So we have globe data. So let's take each time we get a new one, let's take our globe data and then add on the data point. Or actually, no, let's just add so globe data dot push the new one, data point, and then let's set this to globe data. So this, I think, is maybe what she was saying will crash. So if I say this, I think this will add all the pings. And then it's gonna crash. I bet. Let's see if it yeah, it's already like slow. So I think these are stacking on top of each other. I don't think it's an infinite loop. Exactly. Not exactly. But these things are stacking on top of each other, which is kind of cool. So I wonder if like so this is going slow and it's gonna okay. So that's the problem she was having. And I wonder if like I mean you're gonna get to a bunch of points really quickly. And I wonder what if we did so global data dot push, and then what if we did globe data equals globe data dot slice and take like like keep 1,000 at a time, so it's not that wild. Or does slice change? I don't remember which is which. Returns a copy. We do splice. The splice change. Remove elements from array. Insert an array containing the items that were deleted. Did it? I can't remember which one. Like anyway, which one actually changes mutates the original array? So we want to get the most recent 1,000. Did this reload already? No, it's reloading up here. So I want to start. See, this is like really heavy. So I wonder if we just only keep a certain amount of points. Because there's a question in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, not an infinite loop, but more of a memory issue with like how many points there are. Um, Clay on Twitch is asking, do we want to keep the old ones? And the answer might be no. Like we might just keep again only 1,000 of them, and that may be like all that we need visually. Although I'm not sure why these aren't showing up now. That's another thing. It seems like kind of buggy. I also need to check array splice JavaScript. I can never remember which one is which. People have shared like tips, like mnemonics or something. I never know. So I want one that actually changes method. So the splice does override the original array. I'm not sure why that's not with the P is mutating. Okay, fair enough. Ryan Richard, what's up? So I always get slide. I've literally created videos on this in the past, and I still can never remember. So P mutates. P mutates. Splice, slice. So more letters means more impact to the original array. Is that how we do it? So now why are we not getting like why are these not can so let's I don't know if this is a problem. So here's the zero based index. I wonder if you can't Joseph, same thing, everybody. Joseph, it says so your name on YouTube is Joseph Appsmith. Is is that your name? Are you associated with the project Appsmith? Is it possible to add points only at the visible surface? Somehow separate the data. Well, I was wondering if there's a way to like remove duplicate. You know how they were like stacked on top of each other to remove duplicates. It seems like there was a configuration for that she had tried to set, which was points merge, and maybe points merge to true would be helpful. I'm not sure. So I wonder what. That's not at all what I said. Globe data. I'm wondering what happens if you splice. Can you use splice with a negative number? You may only be able. Yeah, let's do this. Let's say if globe. Yeah, that. And then I don't know. I'm wondering if you can't splice with a negative number. Oh, I don't need to log this out every time. A lot of logging. Try merge true. Yeah, I was thinking. Oh, cool. Joseph is senior Devrel at Appsmith. Very cool. Joseph, do you have like a link to your Twitter? Make sure I'm following you for all the latest Appsmith stuff. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I mean, this is something, right? I burned myself on using Splice accidentally, so I avoid it at all costs so I can. Sony, what's your on Twitch? What's your alternative to using Splice? What do you use instead? Just anything so a non-mutating function? Are people really are you all really intentional about not mutating original objects? Is that something that you think about? Oh, look at this. That's weird. That one is just stacking on top of each other and I don't know why. What is it? Why does it have that little burst? Okay, so let's do. I don't know if I can zoom in on here. What is your guess about geographically where that point is? Where is that data point in the US? Put your guesses in the chat. Where do you think this is? I feel like this should have better controls to zoom in because this is zooming in like very slow. In the US. Wow, this is ridiculous trying to zoom in here. I don't know why those are like. I was thinking it's near New York too. I can't quite tell because I can't zoom in fast enough. It's only zooming in like a tiny bit at a time. Oh, did I break it? So it hangs in there. It runs. And I feel like you may not even need like God, zooming out of this. I'm just gonna refresh the page because zooming out is taking way too long. So I wonder, I think that's actually got a cool effect. And I think it's performing enough. I wonder if we change this to 100, you'll have less total points. Oh no, wait. Whoa. Wait, but why did I get 100? Wait, I'm confused. How did I get these this super confused by that? I don't get that at all. What? That's weird. So I'm saying if I get 1,000, okay, but that number should match, I guess. So if I get over 100, only keep 100. Okay, so still something. Now, why is it doing the weird thing? That shouldn't stay there like that. That's really weird. So if I go back to 1,000 each, because that seemed to do pretty good. I say that and then it doesn't work now. Oh, there we go. Okay, it took a second to get the stream. Wait, why not set the lengths to 0? What do you mean by the lengths, Stony? This is super weird. Why is it growing like that? So one thing I do want to try is, and I think Esther mentioned it earlier, is setting the points merge. I don't have any idea of, I don't have any confirmation of what that actually does, but hopefully it would prevent them from stacking. So I should get a message in here of, I think it's waiting to, is it waiting to get the stream or is the stream already going? Oh, I can use my scroll on my mouse so it's not getting anything. So There you go. There's something. Yeah, Stony. So I have it says very inconsistent results. Okay. Don't love that, which seems also don't know about like what's the take a peek in performance monitor. What am I looking for in performance monitor? That's what I don't want. Why is it doing that weird? Your browser hates you. Did you see the original? It does have like rays of different length, I think. Um, Esther, what do you mean? Oh, Joseph, did you ever send your Twitter handle or anything? Love to make sure that I'm following your stuff. Christoph on Twitch, what's going on? ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo? Eh, com- how do you say that in in French? Oh, comment vas-tu? En français, comment vas-tu, mon ami? Catching late, check what you're cooking. Yeah, working on something cool, but it's got some weird side effects, which we're trying to figure out. Yeah, Esther, I wonder if you could clarify the original that you mean. Let's see. So this is I commented on your Twitter. Oh, okay. Sorry, I haven't checked Twitter. The 3D map has rays of light, and each one is longer. The more data, the longer ray of light. Yeah. So I wonder, would it be ridiculous? Ooh. Um, wow, do I have an answer for you? Next, auth, next 14. Let's see if we can find a good resource for this. Oh, wait. Haha. It's from me. Love. So Sid on YouTube is asking if there's a good resource for Next.js 14 and next auth. Oh, sorry. No, I lied. That's the total wrong thing. I got cocky. I'm sorry. You didn't say clerk. You said next auth. I'm so sorry. I promise I wasn't super selfishly trying to use that as a way to promote myself. I thought it fit. Sorry. I don't know. I haven't done next auth with next 14, but YouTube is a great resource. So Esther, 3D map has that's the video I came from. So glad to hear it. Um, Esther said 3D map has rays of light. Each one is longer. The more data. Yes, that totally makes sense. I'm wondering, like, this is weird because it goes through this phase of like sometimes they stack up like that and then they go away. That I don't understand. And then it also is like leaving one ray of light. I would like to remove duplicates. And, I wonder. So if I were to remove duplicates, I'll leave this as a programming logic for everyone. If you were to remove duplicates, how would you do that? And then do we still need to wait, if I am I doing this backwards? When I do splice, how do I still have the documentation up? It changes so fruits equals fruits. So fruits splice. So this is adding those in. If I'm not adding anything, is this the right way to do this? If the length is greater than 1,000, am I getting the right piece that I want? Or is splice saying get rid of all the rest of this? Yeah, so it should get rid of all the rest of this. Widespread, what's up? Where are we at? Just fired up the machine. Corey. What's up, Corey? On Twitch as well. Corey, I got to hang out with last week in person, as well as Ryan. I think Ryan might be gone on YouTube, maybe. We got to hang out with some of these people in person, which is super, super fun. Corey, you gonna be? I said, are you gonna be? Are you going to be streaming sometime soon? Do you have a link to your Twitch that you want to include for people? Widespread, we're working on kind of getting this data to feel and look right. Ryan's still here, yes. Yeah, I still can't explain why we're getting this spike. That's weird to me. I don't know why there's the spike. Everything else mostly looks good. Like if I was getting consistent results with this, I'd be so happy. There's a little spike. TBD on my streaming schedule. What's the Discord? Yeah, so I have LBT website. I have the Learn Build Teach Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, you can join there. So this is good. Like it's still staying performant. We're seeing the splashes. And I think that's what we really want. What I don't understand is like why when I change this to 100, does this give me like drastically different, or it did earlier. It's not right now. I mean, this is still interactive. Also, the like random pings in these like islands is hilarious. Like you'll see them pop up. Those are funny. Why are we getting, can someone technically help me understand why we're getting these spikes? So to clarify, I know that if we had a bunch of them in one area, I know they're going to stack on top of each other if they have the same coordinates. I get that. But when I'm only keeping 100 of these around, so I'm wiping out the array after I have 100, how is this thing, like this thing must just be cached or something? Because that's not updating. It's just like one big spike that's just sitting there. And that doesn't make sense. I don't get that. But what I also want to look at, we did this earlier, is let's go to the package. So this is GlobeGL, I think. GlobeGL on NPM. So this is what we're using. It uses a couple of things that we were trying to use earlier. Quick start. Initialization. Let's go to the API reference. So globe, and then we have config options, and we have configure parameters to pass to the 3JS web. Okay. Wait for globe ready. Boolean to wait until the image is fully loaded before rendering the globe on any of the data layers. Animate in. Fine. So I need, where is the actual render config object fully defined? Or okay, so this points merge. Okay. Getter and setter for whether to merge all the point meshes into a single object for improved rendering performance. Visually, both options are equivalent. Setting this option only affects the internal organization. Okay, so that I don't know. What I would like to do though is say something in here that will say, if I have a duplicate point, don't render more than one point on the map at a time of the same latitude and longitude. Now, so I asked this question earlier, and Christoph mentioned this, which is correct. You can reference a set. You can use a set to get rid of duplicates. Sets do have built-in comparators to be able to check for duplicates. I don't know how you customize that, so we may have to write our own function for it, which is not that big a deal. It can totally be done. But Ian, this is so funny. Ian says, happy Friday, Eve, which is funny because I used to always do like happy Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve. I would always do that like multiple Eves in advance. So so sets work for removing duplicates for an array, but what they do is they just look at, they don't have the ability to do like deeper custom comparisons to figure out what a duplicate is. So if you have an array of strings, it can handle getting rid of duplicates. you have an array of objects where you need to compare nested properties of those objects, I don't think it can do it by itself, because technically it's going to be comparing references to those values. And even if they have the same have the same properties, the references, the pointers are going to be pointing to two different objects in memory. So I don't think that works there. So I think we'd have to do something custom, which we could. And I'll come back to how we can do that in a second. And then let's see. Christoph is saying in the layer section. So let's just go through these. So we have nested properties. Yeah, be tricky. Yep. So show globe, default to true. Show graticules. What is that? Show a graticule grid, demarking latitude and longitude. Don't know what that is. That's interesting. Atmosphere, altitude. Don't need that. Don't need globe material. On globe click. Points layer. Okay, so points data. For the list of points to represent, each point is. So one thing I'm also interested in is, instead of resetting the array that it displays, can we just remove an item like from the globe itself? Because right now what we're doing is we have an object in memory, an array in memory that's keeping track of these items. And then every time we get a new one, which is very fast, we're resetting the whole points data to the array. So when we do this when we do this here, we are kind of re-rendering, I believe, that whole globe with a new set of data. And I wonder if we can't just like add a new data point and remove a previous data point. Thought maybe it was related to layers, not displaying correctly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're still trying to figure it out. So point object assessor function or attribute. Okay. I'm not sure I get that. Point color. Are we doing point color in here? Oh, so for each data point, we have a color. They also have these weird terminologies. Point object assessor function. I wonder if this is meant to be a. See, why is it doing weird stuff now? That is totally different than what it was just doing. That's what I'm so confused about. Like, it was just doing something that was really close to being exactly what I wanted. There it is. Why? I just refreshed and now I get something. But the color still isn't. You have a use effect to check rendering ones. You have duplicates. On mount. So on mount should only be called one time. Inside of there, we set up the stream for messages. And then we call my globe points data. Yeah, it should only be doing this logic once for every time a message comes in. Point color, point radius, points merge. Merge all point meshes into a single object. Point transition duration, on point click, on point hover, arcs layer. We're not doing arcs. Polygons layer. Path layer. We're not doing that. Diamond on Twitch. What's up? I feel like we're making some progress kind of figuring this out. So we're not doing heat. We're not doing hex bin, although that's cool. So if you merge them, could you use a set? Yeah, let's go ahead and try it. Let's see what this will look like. That's hard. Actually, that's tricky. Diamond, so we're just trying to take this incoming stream of data and it's error messages across the world. So by language, and they have latitude and longitude, and then we're putting them on this map. But we're getting a little bit inconsistent results of how this shows up. And then sometimes we're getting these spikes in here. And again, it's inconsistent. So it's as I say this, it's not happening. What if I could also set like the current point meshes to a single object? I don't maybe the call. I don't know. Is this Hawaii? That's funny. There's like the couple of random. So I mean, it's working great now. I don't know what's different. Performance is there. I just don't know why I was getting those spikes. That was so weird. Looks like Shopify's BFCM. What is that? Now, yeah, no, it's working fine, which is interesting, and that's good. Hello, Kaj Ghana. What's up on YouTube? Yeah, this is weird because now it's working totally fine. It just like spazzes out sometimes, but that looks really good. Like that's what it should be. They do a similar 3D globe, but highlight orders around the world on Black Friday. That's cool. Now it looks and behaves very nicely. Yeah. So if you look, what's something that's interesting? Can I zoom in close enough? If you look, there's always a point. I bet this is like San Francisco. There's always a point in there that's staying. Does that mean that like within 1,000 errors, there's always one in San Francisco at that same exact spot? Or is that somehow like a broken piece of the map? Because everywhere else is pretty much like actually New York looks like it has something similar. So if you look in New York, it's maybe hard to tell on stream, but there's this point like doesn't move. Does that just mean every 1,000 is always one of those? It may be. And there may be multiple. It's kind of blinking. Makes sense. Higher number of devs in San Francisco. Same thing with New York City. Yeah. By the way, I'm in Memphis, which is like, I don't know, somewhere in here. I don't see how you don't see any errors in Memphis? That's because we write very good code. It's not true at all. Okay, so going back to like the original code that we had, oh wait, hold on. Why is that? Like I don't think you can tell me that out of the 1,000 messages that are at in memory at any time, there's always 100 of this one. I don't think that's the case. That feels weird. That feels odd to me. Just hover over the UK when I start my project. I know. I love it. Where's the UK right now? It's got some stuff going on. It's a bug, yeah, but that is at the same point. Well, it's happened in a few different places. So, like at one point, it was New York City. I mean, it could be like the one that doesn't appear. Yeah, I mean, it could, but I wonder how many. So, this is hard for me to tell 3D wise. How many of those objects, how many of those data points did it take to build up the thing to be that tall? Like, is that 10 of them? Then, like, yeah, I could see that just for a while. There's like a shit ton of errors going on over there. Is it 100 of those it takes to stack up? So that's one of the things that I would like to do is just completely prevent that. One, huh? So little bit of data structures and algorithms type stuff. One thing that I was going to do was to create a data points map, and we do this as an actual map, and then we could set, yeah, something like this. They're kind of on the right thing. So we could get a key for each point, and this is going to come from a data point. Data point. So in this case, what we would do is create a unique key for each data point based on its latitude and longitude. Greetings from Pakistan. Suleiman, welcome. So, and then what we would do is we would add in data points and then set that key to that value. Now, interestingly, this could potentially work if we then took let me try a thing real quick. Let me try a thing. So if we initialize this up here, we take our data points map, but we don't have any way to delete them out of there. But we still could get a lot of performance out of this. So we determine for each incoming point, we determine, Konami, hello, welcome. We determine what the unique key is, and that unique key is a combination of latitude and longitude. Now, for that map, we then set the value associated with that key to be this new incoming message, which means if we've seen that data point before, it's going to override it. So in this map that we're keeping track of, the data points map, we will not have any duplicates in terms of latitude and longitude. Now, I don't know how to factor in limiting the number that we have, so that's a separate thing, but we could then take our data points map and take the values associated with that keys. Now, this means we could have an infinite number of keys, but which is a combination of latitude and longitude, but for the value associated with it, we'd only have one value. So for any combination of latitude and longitude, we'd only have one record for that data point. As we get a new one come in, it would replace that one. So we could have a million different keys and a million different values, but at least they wouldn't be duplicates of the same place. So let's try that really quickly. So Exis on Twitch, new in the web development world, need a suggestion. Should I use PHP, Node, Express for the back end? Whatever you're most comfortable with. Don't overthink it. Don't ask too many questions. The only thing I would tell you to do is two things. One, if you have one of those that you're more excited about or more comfortable with, do that. Two, do your research if you're looking for jobs. If you're looking for jobs and all of them are looking for PHP, do PHP. If you're looking for jobs and all the jobs that you find are using Node.js and Express, do Node.js and Express. Just let your excitement and your research for jobs be your guiding light. Do that and you'll be fine. Don't worry too much about making a decision one way or another. I actually have a video planned where basically the idea is like stop wasting so much time debating about which tech stack to use because it doesn't matter in a lot of ways. Like there's reasons, like I just said, to do certain things, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter that much. All right, let's see. That didn't work at all. See, that doesn't make sense to me. How is that happening? How are those building up? And that's getting to be a problem really quickly. Okay, so that one, no, that didn't work. But why is that? And we take the values from returns an iterable. I know it's the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Do we have to spread that out into an array? Is that because I don't think it technically returns an array. It doesn't look like. And then that just broke the whole thing. So that's fine. There's the map at least. It's loading. I like the little spin animation to start. This I can't get any consistency with this. That looks like it just froze. Sony, by category, do you mean Twitch? Oh, yeah. I'm on talk shows and something else. What is category? Where is the category? Not talk shows. Let's go for is there programming? Huh. what's the category? Not programming, development? I don't know what software is. That didn't work. Not at all. Stop that. Software and game. This search is horrible. Why is this being weird to me? Okay. That should be better. Nope. Did that not change? It did not. 1 second. Oh, you have to actually save it. That makes sense. Software and game dev. And save. Okay, that actually changed. Thanks. The animation is like the Google Maps globe, I think. Yeah. So why did that break things? Maybe that's just not. So maybe values is because it returns an iterable. I don't know if it like treats an iterable as an array per se. An array per se. Nope, not that. Console. This also didn't refresh. Can you refresh? Concerning that it takes like so long to refresh, which makes it seem like there's something going on. Oh shoot, I need to go. Hold on. I will be back in a few minutes. I have to go grab my daughter. Parenthood, right? Yeah. Be back in a second. Come on. Come on. Okay, I'm back for a minute. Break time. Yes. Also, I have 2 flights of stairs to walk up, so I get winded coming back. Let's see. Yeah, professional dad streamer. That's it. This is Jamie. Say hi. Say I want to be a programmer one day too. See you, Christoph. Um, yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this is not removing duplicates. I would think that it should. The dad stream needs occasional dad jokes, though. Yeah, if I had, I need to get like I actually have a dad joke book, I think, somewhere that I could bring with me. Yeah, I'm a little confused as to why that code didn't work. But let's go back to what we had. I guess I also don't need this, the headphones because I'm not listening to anything. And she's gonna take it and play with it anyway, so yeah, I don't have any audio coming out. So she's gonna take the headphones. How does a rancher keep track of his cows? Um, a, hmm, hmm, hmm. A catalog. Get cattle. Og. What are you doing? A catalog. Nicely done, CD on Twitch. Appreciate that. Turning this into a much needed dad joke time. So let's see if I. That's doing weird stuff too. Why is it doing weird stuff? We had all this like. You okay? Thank you for coughing right in my face. Yeah. Happens to the best of us. Did you eat something? You want to talk into the mic? Yeah. You can't eat it though. You can't eat that mic. Mini cuteness. I like it. Okay. So here this thing is like working. Did you eat something? You look like you're still coughing. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm probably going to call the stream in a minute. Thank you for the compliments, by the way. So this is mostly, it's mostly consistent, but I feel like we're still getting a couple of like spikes, but it's pretty close. So I think this is cool. I think this is enough for me to go back to Salma and kind of mention like, hey, maybe this is something we could do. You can't start teaching them young enough. That's right. Why are you still? Well, anyway, I'm gonna have to go look after this girl in a minute. But yes, and you're still coughing. So I think this is pretty good. I'm going to take this away. She looks gross on video. All right. Last couple of minutes on stream. Anybody have any questions or like topics to wrap up with before we go? I feel like she might have something in her throat. Or she might just be weird. Where did the parallel function wash its? Oh, I was like, what kind of question is that? I can't answer that. And then I realized it was a dad joke, I assume. Where did the parallel function wash its hand? In the async something. The async something. What are you doing? Async. Oh, just async. Yeah, gotcha. All right, I'm gonna go check on her because I feel like she's acting weird. But fun stream. I'll be doing more of this, so check it out. YouTube, Twitch. We'll be back for more. But thanks everyone for checking in. Appreciate it. Good to see you all, and I will catch you next time. Say bye. 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 Yeah. All right. See ya.